honor this afternoon to welcome our guest speaker. Shayla Barker is a volunteer run director, Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation's CIBC Run for the Cure in Windsor. She first participated in the CIBC Run for the Cure in 2004. 3 years later, she joined the committee for the Windsor Run site, and now she is one of their run, she's fun too, but run directors. As a CIBC branch manager, Shayla encouraged CIBC branches in Windsor and the surrounding community to get involved. She has also organized fundraising events such as Art for a Cure and Think Pink Nights, which raised over $10,000 for CBCF. She's an exceptional role model for volunteers, and CBCF is very lucky to have her as a friend and as a supporter, and we are so fortunate to have her speak with us this afternoon. Shayla Barker.
Thank you, Beth. I may not know many of you in the room by name, but I know you. I know you because we share the same passion and desire that drives us to volunteer. It makes us push a little harder, find the time we sometimes just don't have. And for me, it wakes me up at the crack of dawn, well before the sun rises on run day, to get set up for our run. Why? Because we can. Because we have been touched. For me, it was my grandmother over 25 years ago. I was young, so I don't remember it firsthand, but I grew up knowing she had breast cancer, fought it, and is still with me today. Next weekend, she'll celebrate her 60th wedding anniversary with my grandfather. I grew up making lifestyle choices, conscious of the fact that we had a family history of breast cancer. I chose not to smoke, encouraged those around me to quit. I've never been a heavy drinker. I've always exercised regularly, wanting to be healthy. I was encouraged when I saw the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation raising awareness about prevention, and that these were all factors that contributed to reducing breast cancer risk. In my early 20s, I found a lump in my breast. I was first apprehensive about talking about it with my doctor and being my own healthcare advocate. I was thankful when she took it seriously, and I was sent for an ultrasound to ensure it was nothing more. I remember nervously sitting in the waiting room, hiding my tears during the test, and the technician holding my hand and saying it was nothing to be concerned about. That technician was a kind soul. She saw a young woman she could quietly help, and against practice, didn't make me wait for a follow-up with my doctor to tell me that everything was okay. This is a story I share when we are at community events with young women, all women, especially those who think they're too young or it just can't happen to them. 3 years ago, as a branch manager at my CIBC branch in downtown Windsor, one of my employees shared with me she was going for her first mammogram in her 60s. We had lost a close colleague, the month previous to cervical cancer. She was nervous, and we spoke more about being afraid of the unknown than the known. She later told me they found something, and she was going for further consultation. I remember the afternoon after her doctor's appointment, she walked into my office, shut the door, and cried in my arms. She shared she had been diagnosed. I was the first person she told. She was so brave. I took her to her first appointment to decide on her treatment, and when she came out, she shared with me the plan. I'm happy to share it worked. She is doing well now and has fun dressing her adorable Yorkie Brandy for the run every year, and has been one of our top fundraisers. She is an inspiration and another reason why I do what I do. Almost 2 years ago, I watched my great aunt be diagnosed, and the difference in her experience compared to my grandmother's 25 years ago is undeniable. Progress has been made not only medically, but socially as well. It is now widely talked about when it wasn't prior. Many of my younger cousins and family did not know my grandmother had breast cancer until I became involved with the foundation and talked about why I got involved. She was misdiagnosed for 2 years, and the only option was a double mastectomy because the choices and treatments were not what they are today. My great aunt is currently participating in 2 clinical trials, which she is so thankful to be a part of, because with all her heart, she wants something good to come from what she's been through. What a difference the research supported by the money raised has made and will make in the impact the Canadian Breast Cancer Foundation has had. I know a future without breast cancer will come. I am proud to work with the foundation as a volunteer and for CIBC, who has been the title sponsor for over 15 years. I always tease that volunteering for the Run for the Cure is my second, full-time, unpaid job, but that's really not true. I do get paid, but in a different way than most are accustomed to. It's food for my soul. I want to look back and know that I made a difference in some small way, as I'm sure many of you do. I've met amazing women while volunteering for the foundation the last 8 years. The stories they share, and I'm sure you've heard them today, are so moving and so personal. It brings tears to my eyes every run day when I see the collected energy and spirit, family and friends gathered, and especially as I pass out pink roses to our survivors as they cross our finish line. We all have these stories of how we've been touched, and that's why we are here, and why we are gathered together to celebrate amazing individuals and groups, and all of you for your contributions and efforts this past year. We don't do what we do for a thank you or an award, but we can still appreciate hearing when someone says thank you. Because you do more than you think, and it means more than you know. So I'll leave you with these words from Henry Burton. Have you had a kindness shown? Pass it on. 'Twas not given for thee alone. Pass it on. Let it travel down the years. Let it wipe another's tears, till in heaven the deed appears. Pass it on. Thank you.